the soft glow of amber pendant lights hanging over Amara's dining table, each bulb reflecting off polished mahogany. A gentle breeze drifts through the open windows, carrying the faint scent of gardenias from the patio. Inside, Amara, dressed in a simple navy sheath dress, moves with quiet purpose. She arranges the final sprig of cilantro atop a porcelain bowl of palm nut soup, her dark skin glistening in the warm light. Every plate is a love letter, a promise of comfort. Downstairs, Bryce straightens his tie in the mirror, smoothing a few rebellious strands of hair. He glances at his reflection, practices a smile, then abandons it for a smirk. "Let's make sure they know we're hosts with taste," he mutters to himself, then strides confidently into the living room where Keisha and Daryl are already sipping wine. Keisha, in a crimson off-shoulder gown, raises an eyebrow. I like where this is going," she purrs, gesturing toward the kitchen. Daryl, sporting a crisp blazer and a smug grin, claps Bryce on the back. "Your wife really outdid herself this time, man." Bryce settles into the plush velvet sofa with practiced ease, nodding toward Amara as she arrives to serve the first course. "Ladies, gentlemen," he announces, voice smooth as silk. "Amara has prepared something very special for us tonight." The group leans forward, forks at the ready. Amara places the bowls of soup with calm precision. "Enjoy," she whispers, then slips away to catch breath. The first spoonful brings smiles, warm, spicy, subtly sweet. Keisha murmurs, "This is incredible," and Daryl nods in agreement. But Bryce clears his throat. "Amara, darling," he calls out loud enough for the small crowd. "What exactly is this? Some sort of peasant stew? I mean, I love rustic, but this tastes, well, therapeutic." Laughter bubbles around the table. Amara's back stiffens, she forces a polite smile, but her eyes glass over. Undeterred, Bryce seizes her silence. "Next time, maybe add some avocado toast or quinoa, something trending." His words ring through the air like a judge's gavel. Amara retreats to the kitchen, cheeks aflame, hands trembling as she catches Daryl's teasing wink. Course 2 arrives, bittersweet plantain fritters with a tamarind glaze. Amara places them carefully on a wooden board. Bryce grabs one, bites, chews theatrically, then winces. "Is that banana? I thought we agreed no fruit at dinner, Amara. We're not in kindergarten." Again, the guests laugh, some kindly, some uncomfortably, while Amara's world tilts. She retreats to the sink, fingers curling into fists. By the third course, a creamy egusi soup infused with smoked fish, Bryce is already mid-sip of his Chardonnay, eyes scanning his phone. He barely notices the dish. Spotting Amara's apprehensive glance, he quips, "Beautiful presentation, though. Too bad it tastes like last week's leftovers." Keisha giggles, Daryl nods in faux sympathy, and Bryce smirks. The final humiliation comes when Bryce raises his glass for a toast. "To me," he says, eyes sparkling with arrogance, "for having the patience to stick with someone who still thinks plantain belongs on a menu." He drains the Chardonnay, applause follows. Amara stands frozen at the kitchen threshold, porcelain plates still in hand. As the guests drift away in chatter and compliments for Bryce's hosting, Amara retreats to the upstairs landing. She presses her palm to her forehead, breath coming in ragged sobs. The world feels impossibly small, the laughter echoing like a taunt. In the silence, she vows, they haven't seen anything yet. The morning sun filters through lacy curtains, painting golden patterns on the tile floor. Amara pads into the kitchen, heart still raw from last night's spectacle. She flicks on the faucet, trying to wash away the bitter taste of humiliation. Dishes clatter in the sink, oils swirling down the drain like tears. Upstairs, Bryce emerges in a pale blue polo, yawning as he grabs a sports magazine. "Morning," he calls without looking up. Amara doesn't respond. She rinses the last soup bowl and turns to clear the counter. A single wineglass teeters at the edge, an echo of last night's celebration. Her elbow grazes it, sending the crystal vessel toppling and crashing onto the tiled floor. Shards scatter like broken dreams. Bryce's head snaps around. Great, he mutters, now we've got a mess. He pads into the kitchen, amusement dancing in his eyes. Need me to call the cleaning service? Amara crouches, gathering jagged pieces. Her voice is soft, brittle. It was my fault. Bryce shrugs, plucks his phone from his pocket. Just don't let it happen again, or I'll have to downgrade you from chef to dishwasher permanently. He leans against the island, crossing his arms. Got a big client lunch today, so don't mess up the living room. I've got people coming. She nods, but the words land like bricks in her chest. As soon as he leaves for his car, she collapses to the floor, pressing her forehead against her knees. The fragments of glass reflect the fluorescent light, like 1,000 tiny mirrors pointing back to her failure. Hours later, she's still kneeling when Nina calls. Amara, her best friend's voice is warm and concerned. Hey, are you okay? Her throat tightens. I'm fine, she lies, voice cracking. Just cleaning. Nina hesitates. You sounded upset. I can come by? Amara glances at her watch. It's nearly midday. Please, she whispers. By afternoon, Nina is at the door, carrying pastries and a thermos of tea. She lets herself in, shoes off. Talk to me, she says gently, setting the thermos on the counter. Amara points to the floor. Glass. Nina kneels beside her. That's not why you're broken. She tilts Amara's chin up. Tell me what happened. The dam breaks. Amara recounts the dinner party, the sneers, the laughter, Bryce's barbed comments. Tears fall unabated. Nina wraps her in a fierce hug. You deserve better, she says. You're magic with food. Don't let him make you doubt yourself. Amara pulls back, eyes red. It's too late. I'm just stupid. Nina shakes her head. No. You're the opposite. You care. You put your heart on a plate. And he spat on it. As Nina helps Amara to her feet. Together, they sweep up the shattered glass, piece by piece, they clear the wreckage. In the quiet aftermath, hope flickers in Amara's chest. The next morning, Amara's phone buzzes incessantly on the kitchen counter. Bleary-eyed, she reads the notification, Bryce's crew clinking glasses. A flurry of messages scroll by. Keisha, did you see her face last night? Priceless. Daryl, I swear, I've tasted better school cafeteria food. Bryce, LOL. Peasant plates indeed. Her stomach twists. She snaps the phone shut and stares at the wall. Memories of last night's dinner swirl like smoke. Later, at work, she volunteers at a local community center teaching cooking classes. The group chat continues. She tells herself not to open it, but curiosity pulls her in. An hour later, she's crouched in a hallway cradling her phone, overhearing Keisha's mocking laughter echoing off locker-lined walls. Keisha, loud enough for a neighbor's ears. Seriously, how do you ruin soup? It's like she wants us to starve. A coworker snorts. Right? And Bryce, the jackal, just sat there sipping wine. Amara's vision blurs. She slides to the floor, back against the cool wall. Her apron, once a symbol of passion, feels like a shackle. The hallway lights glare above her, unforgiving. An older student, Mrs. Ease, passes by with a tray of salads. She pauses, concern creasing her forehead. Amara, dear, are you all right? Amara forces a shaky smile. Just a headache. She grabs her bag and flees. Outside, she leans against the sun-warmed brick, phone clenched. At that moment, Nina calls again. This time Amara picks up immediately. Babe, what's going on? Nina's voice is urgent. Amara's words spill out, the chat, the laughter, the ongoing humiliation. She covers the phone's speaker with her hand to muffle a sob. I can't stay under his shadow. I can't keep pretending. Nina's silence stretches a moment, then she exhales. You don't have to pretend. You can start over. The bell rings for her class. She's torn, face her students or retreat. She closes her eyes, takes a deep breath. I'll teach, she says, voice firmer. But after that, I'm done hiding. She hangs up and steps into the kitchen classroom, apron donned like armor. Her students greet her with bright smiles. She returns their enthusiasm with a quiet nod, letting the familiar rhythm of chopping and stirring steady her. Amara pours couscous into a bowl, she catches her reflection in the stainless steel. For the first time in weeks, she sees resolve, not shame. Night descends as Amara locks up the community center. The streets are empty, streetlights casting halos on wet asphalt from an afternoon rain. She walks home, shoulders hunched, mind buzzing. Her phone vibrates, too many times. She checks, Nina is on video call. Without pause, Amara answers. Nina's face fills the screen, concern radiating. Where are you? Near my building, Amara replies, voice hollow. Nina's tone softens. I'm coming over. Give me 5. Moments later, a gentle knock. Amara opens the door to find Nina holding 2 insulated cups and a paper bag. She gestures Amara inside. I brought Earl Grey and, she peeks in the bag, your favorite, Akara donuts. Amara's lips twitch in the faintest smile. Together they settle at the small kitchen island. Nina pours steaming tea, the aroma drifts between them. I've been doing some thinking, Nina begins, eyes bright. You know that restaurant night we did in college? The one where you won that People's Choice Award? Amara's gaze drifts to a faded trophy on the shelf. How could I forget? I almost missed my graduation dinner because I was setting up the tasting table. Nina laughs. And you nailed it. You won. Bryce was there. He was so proud. He kissed you in front of everyone. Amara closes her eyes, remembering the buzz of applause. Feels like a lifetime ago. Because it was, Nina says sharply. That's the real you, the woman who can make crowds cheer with a single bite. Not the one he belittles. Tears pool in Amara's eyes. Nina slides an arm around her. I've got your back. I've already set up a camera here. One TikTok clip to start, just you, cooking that Akara fresh. No edits, no shame. Amara tenses. What if it flops? Then we try again, Nina insists. I know it will work. People will see you, not Bryce. And they'll love you. Amara looks at her friend, the warmth of loyalty flickering into hope. She nods slowly. Okay, she whispers. Let's do it. They set up the phone on a tripod. Amara measures black-eyed peas, grinds pepper, shapes the batter. Nina stands behind the camera, whispering prompts. Now smile. Show your hands. Talk about why you love this recipe. Amara inhales deeply, then begins, Hey everyone, it's Amara. Today we're making Akara, my family's comfort food, perfect for any morning. As she speaks, her confidence builds. Each crackle in the hot oil echoes like applause. The following morning, light spills into Amara's bedroom. She wakes before dawn, heart thumping with anticipation. In the quiet, she pads to her dresser drawer and rummages until her fingers close around a thick, leather-bound notebook. Dust motes dance in the ray of sunlight as she flips it open. On the first page, in a child's scrawl, is the title Amara's Dream Kitchen. Beneath it, recipes scribbled in multicolored ink, each page marked with doodles of sunflowers and hearts. She traces her finger along the words, peanut soup with secret spice, grandma's jollof rice remix, coconut pudding, family favorite. Her mind drifts back to her grandmother's kitchen, warm tile floors, the steady thrum of an old radio, the embrace of spices in the air. She sees herself, 8 years old, perched on a stool as her grandmother nodded approvingly at her attempt to mash yams. "You've got the touch," she'd said, her voice rich with pride. Amara flips to the back of the notebook. There's an entry dated 5 years ago. Goal, start a pop-up stall by December. Beside it, a small checkbox, unticked. Guilt and longing tangle in her chest. She sets the notebook on the wooden desk and pulls out a fresh page. With a pen, she writes today's date in bold letters, May 2nd, 2025. Below it. Phase 1, recipe testing. 5 a.m. Wake up, cook one new dish. 6:30 a.m. Film and post clip. 7 a.m. Respond to comments and feedback. Her pulse quickens as she underlines wake up twice. She stands, paces the room. The hum of possibility fills her veins. Downstairs, the faint beep of her alarm cracks the silence at 5 a.m. She rises, slips on an apron, and descends. In the kitchen, she retrieves the notebook and a crisp page from the pile of Neela-lined paper. Camera on, she breathes into the microphone. Good morning, friends. Today we're making jollof rice, but with a citrus twist. Her hands move confidently, measuring, stirring, tasting. Each movement is a reclaiming of her dignity. As the sun climbs, she uploads the clip. The first few views trickle in. Comments begin to appear. Love this twist, your energy is contagious, where can I taste this? Amara's lips curve into a genuine smile for the first time in weeks. The phone's screen, notifications lighting up like fireflies. In that moment, she knows, this is only the beginning. The 4:45 a.m. alarm slices through the pre-dawn hush of Amara's apartment. She blinks twice, reaches for her phone, and silences the persistent chime. Moonlight seeps through the blinds, illuminating the scattered recipe journals on her countertop, silent witnesses to last week's turmoil. She swings her legs over the side of the bed, muscles stiff, and pads downstairs in slippers. In the kitchen, the counters are lined with measuring cups, spice jars, and bowls of vibrant ingredients. Amara ties her hair back, slides on an apron, and inhales deeply, letting the cool air steady her nerves. Today she's determined to transform her heartbreak into flavor. She begins with a simple dish, jollof rice infused with smoked cherry tomatoes. The grain simmers with a gentle hiss. As the spice-laden steam dances upward, she tastes the stock, too salty. Her knuckles whiten around the spoon. Not good enough, she whispers. She drains the rice into a colander and returns to the pot, adds a splash of coconut milk to balance, stirs in fresh thyme from a window planter, and samples again. There's a subtle sweetness now, the rice tender without being mushy. A small victory. At 5:30 a.m., Nina peeks around the doorframe, coffee in hand. Smells amazing, she says softly, setting down 2 mugs. How's round one? Amara shrugs, cheeks flushed. Better. But I want more depth, maybe hint of smoky pepper. She gestures toward the rack of spices. Help me choose? Together they experiment, a sprinkle of paprika, a dash of cayenne, a pinch of smoked salt. Each iteration is tasted, critiqued, adjusted. Voices lower in reverence for the process, heated when taste falls flat, like when Amara overshoots with cayenne and flinches at the fire on her tongue. Too much, she gasps, gulping water. They laugh, relief easing the tension. By 7 a.m., 3 versions of jollof rice sit in small ramekins. Amara arranges them side by side, labels each A, B, and C. She takes careful notes in her leather notebook. A, balanced sweetness, lacks heat. B, ideal heat, needs smoky aroma. C, perfect balance. Her pulse quickens, she's on the verge of something special. She shoots a few test photos, adjusting lighting and angles, then angles toward the countertop for another dish, plantain fritters with tamarind chili dip. As the oil crackles, Amara closes her eyes, imagining the hiss as applause. She scoops the golden discs into a bowl, sprinkles flaky sea salt, and offers one to Nina. Your turn, she says, handing over a fritter. Nina bites, her eyes widening. Amara, this is restaurant quality. You've outdone yourself. She wraps Amara in a hug, and for a moment, Amara allows herself to believe. But the clock ticks. Bryce's morning meetings begin at 9 a.m. The calm cocoon shatters when he stomps through the door at 8:15, briefcase in hand. Hey, he throws over his shoulder without pausing, then notices the spread. Wow, looks like a 5-star setup in here. His tone is flat, she braces. Don't think I want to taste any of this before my board meeting. I've got bigger fish to fry. He advances to the sink, flicks on the faucet, and begins loading plates without asking. Amara inhales a shaky breath, but Nina places a steadying hand on her back. Bryce glances up. Don't get too comfy. This is my domain. He drains a wineglass, last night's remains, and strides out, leaving Amara with the lingering aroma of spice and the taste of defiance. As the door clicks shut, she turns to Nina, eyes alight. Let's get the camera ready, she says. Tonight, we film the real thing. Her voice trembles with excitement, a stark contrast to the tears of Chapter 1. The kitchen, once a place of ridicule, now feels like a battlefield where she crafts her victory. And as the sun rises fully over her apartment, Amara knows she's no longer cooking for Bryce's approval. She's cooking for herself, fired up and unstoppable. That evening, the apartment glows under soft track lighting. Amara stands before an iPhone rigged on a tripod, nerves prickling her skin. Nina's elbow nuzzles her side as she adjusts the camera's angle. Ready? Nina asks, whispering encouragement. Amara nods, wipes her palms on the apron, and lifts a bowl of her perfected jollof rice. Hey everyone, she begins, voice steadier than expected, it's Amara. Today I'm sharing my ultimate jollof rice recipe, smoky, spicy, and just sweet enough. She scoops rice onto a plate, arranges a sprig of cilantro, and pans the camera over the dish. She describes each step in 30 seconds, toasting the tomatoes, simmering the spices, balancing the flavors with coconut milk. Her hands move confidently, her smile genuine. Nina cues her, close up now, taste and react. Amara takes a forkful, closes her eyes, and exhales in appreciation. That's the comfort of home, reinvented. She mouths the final words, try it and let me know what you think. Nina drones the record button off. Done, she says, relief warming her tone. That wasn't so bad. Amara exhales a shaky laugh. Let's hope the world thinks so. They upload the clip to TikTok at 9:02 p.m., captioned, My Jollof Rice Glow Up Fire #food talk #Jollof Challenge #home cooking. Then they watch the screen as it processes. Nina shows Amara a promise, save screenshot, first like is ours. They sip iced tea, scrolling refresh, and nothing. 50 views. 8 hearts. No comments. Nina frowns. Probably the wrong hashtags, she murmurs, retags and reposts. An hour later, 50 more views trickle in. 2 comments, looks good, need recipe. But no skyrocketing numbers. Amara's shoulders slump. I guess I'm not a natural, she whispers. Nina sets her tea aside. Don't worry, everyone flops on the first try. She pulls up a tutorial, you need to hype the hook in the first 3 seconds, jazz hands, bold statement, something to stop the scroll. Amara raises an eyebrow. Like. Stop whatever you're doing, this is the best jollof rice on earth? Nina laughs. Exactly. Be bold. They film a second take. Amara enters the frame with a dramatic spin, holds up a forkful of rice, and exclaims, Hold up, this jollof rice will change your life. She follows with a quick rundown of the process in 20 seconds. Upload. Fingers crossed. They set alarms to check back at midnight. Tension coils as they chat about dream collaborations and worst-case scenarios. At 11:45 p.m., Amara yawns, and Nina dims the lights. We'll see in the morning, she says, voice gentle. Amara nods, exhaustion outweighing hope. She climbs into bed, mind swirling with possibility and doubt. On the gentle hum of anticipation, will the dawn deliver a viral spark, or will her efforts vanish into the feed? At 6:30 a.m., Amara's phone buzzes like a jackhammer against her nightstand. She fumbles for it, heart thundering. The screen blazes with notifications, views, likes, comments, and it's happening fast. She bolts upright, glasses fogging as she rubs her eyes. 10K views in 30 minutes, reads one alert. Another, 50K views, now 75K. Comments pour in. Spice Queen 24, I need this recipe now. Chef Life Official, wow, smoking never tasted so good. Teach me, please. Jollof Addict, new favorite jollof rice spot, your kitchen. Amara's pulse races. She blinks to see the view count tick upward, 120K, then 150K. Nina shakes her awake, phone in hand. You're trending, Amara. Even on the For You page. They watch together as the video climbs. A brief cameo, Bryce's face flits by, someone in the comments recognized him as her peasant plate's husband, tagging him, Yo Bryce, eat your words. The comment thread ignites with laughter and applause emojis. Amara clicks into her DM requests, dozens of messages. One stands out, a blue checkmark by the name Chef.Tolu. She taps it open. Chef Tolu, your plating is art. It's not just cooking, it's storytelling. Let's collaborate. DM me. Amara stares, breath catching. Nina gasps. Girl, you did it. Chef Tolu wants to work with you. She sinks onto her desk chair, stunned. I don't know what to say. Nina grabs her hands. Say yes. But Amara hesitates. Chef Tolu is a culinary giant, a Michelin star, TV appearances, 500,000 followers. She thought these dreams unreachable. Her stomach twists with excitement and fear. Could she really step into that world? Her phone buzzes again, fans asking for tips, brands reaching out for partnerships, local food bloggers inviting her to pop-up events. It's an avalanche of opportunity. But Bryce, where would he fit in now? She glances toward the bedroom, uncertainty flickering. Yet the glow of the notification screen bathes her face in promise. The world has seen her talent, and it loves it. On her trembling finger poised over the keyboard, ready to reply to Chef Tolu and rewrite her future. Bryce's morning routine is a study in complacency, espresso machine, shave, tie, comb. But today, as he steps into the kitchen at 7:30 a.m., his phone vibrates uncontrollably on the toaster. He frowns, picks it up, and squints at the screen. Chef.Tolu wants to collaborate. He blinks. He scrolls. His feed is flooded with Amara's face, fork poised, spices shimmering, accompanied by headlines, Jollof Rice Queen, Internet's new favorite chef, Bryce's wife steals the show. He scrolls faster, disbelief curdling to anger. In the living room, he paces with phone in hand. Daryl's name pops up on speed dial. Bryce taps the screen. Hey, Daryl, did you see this? Daryl's sleepy voice crackles through. See what? This, Bryce says, reading aloud, I can't get over this recipe, Bryce's wife is a culinary goddess. Daryl whistles. Whoa, didn't see that coming. Bryce huffs. She must have hacked my account or something. Who does she think she is? He mutes the call, swipes at the screen, and frowns at the glowing numbers. Amara emerges from the bedroom in a flower print robe, phone in hand. She catches Bryce's glare and stops. Bryce, are you okay? She asks gently. He presses his lips together. So, your little TikTok trick worked. His tone is clipped. But don't get cocky. This is a fad. It'll die out. She steps closer, voice calm but firm. So what if it is? I'm chasing my dreams, Bryce. And for the first time, people see my worth. He rolls his eyes. Worth? You think being an internet sensation makes up for real life? I have meetings, important ones, total focus. Her shoulders lift, she tucks a strand of hair behind her ear. I'm building something real, too. Her eyes flash. Maybe you should pay attention. He scoffs and turns away. Save it for your followers. The snap of the refrigerator door echoes, and he yanks out a water bottle, draining half in one go. Amara watches him, chest tight. Part of her aches for the man she once loved, but the sting of his belittling still smarts. She breathes deeply. Enjoy your water, she says softly. I'm going out. He pauses, brow furrowing. Where? She lifts her chin. Meeting someone. She strides past him, phone ringing in her pocket, Chef Tolu's name glowing. Bryce doesn't follow. As the door clicks shut, Amara exhales a breath she didn't know she held. She steps into the hallway, anticipation and triumph coursing through her veins. Bryce's dismissive parting words ring in her ears, but they fuel her more than they wound her. A single thought burning in Amara's mind, I'm not just his wife. I'm my own person, and the world is watching. An hour later, Amara settles at a small cafe table beneath a canopy of bougainvillea, phone in hand. Chef Tolu's message arrives. Chef Tolu, let's meet at the Gilded Spoon tomorrow at 11 a.m. Bring your recipe journal. I want to discuss a collaboration. Her heart races. The Gilded Spoon is his flagship restaurant, resplendent marble floors, brass fittings, an open kitchen that's the envy of the city. This meeting could catapult her career. Nina appears moments later, carrying 2 cortados. She slides into the seat across from Amara, eyes shining. So, she prompts, voice barely above a whisper. Amara rereads the DM, then shows it to Nina. He wants my journal, she says, disbelief mingling with excitement. He actually saw potential. Nina's fist pumps the air. Yes! This is huge! A waiter arrives with coffee, artful latte foam shaped like a chef's hat, and both women toast. Amara's smile falters for a moment as she thinks of Bryce's shallow dismissal. But she shoves the thought aside. Today is about her. They plan the meeting. Amara will present 3 signature dishes, her perfected jollof rice, tamarind-infused plantain fritters, and a reinvented egusi soup. She flips open her leather-bound notebook, fingers trailing over her grandmother's handwritten recipes. I want to honor my roots, she says softly. Nina nods. And impress him with your innovation. She jots down talking points, flavor profiles, plating aesthetics, potential menu ideas. They practice pitch lines. I believe my dishes tell stories. My concept bridges traditional flavors with modern techniques. Each rehearsal hones Amara's confidence. After an hour, they pack up. The late afternoon sun warms the sidewalk as Amara locks her apartment door. She clutches her journal to her chest. Every step toward the Gilded Spoon feels like stepping onto a stage set aflame. That night, she lies awake, mind abuzz with possibilities. Will Chef Tolu see her vision? Will she hold her own in his world? Doubt flickers, but determination roars louder. Amara switching off her bedside lamp, resolve blazing brighter than any spotlight. Tomorrow, she's not just cooking for validation, she's claiming her place in the culinary world. And nothing will stop her now. The studio lights hum to life, casting a warm glow on Amara's makeshift cooking set, sleek wooden countertop, vibrant bowls of spices neatly arranged, and a backdrop of local art celebrating African heritage. The camera lens focuses on Amara, clad in a crisp white chef's coat embroidered with her new logo, Amara's Table. She inhales deeply, heart racing as the live icon blinks red. Nina, off camera, gives a thumbs up. You've got this, she whispers, voice steadying Amara's nerves. Amara forces a confident smile. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to my very first live stream. I'm Amara, and tonight we're going to transform simple ingredients into soulful magic. She raises a ladle of simmering egusi soup to the camera, letting the amber broth catch the light. This dish kept me warm during hard times. It's my secret comfort food. Within seconds, the viewer count ticks upward, 5,000. 500. 10,000 viewers. Comments scroll at dizzying speed. Foodie Fana, love your energy. Chef Life Official, that plating is fire. Spice Queen 24, preach, chef. Amara begins chopping fresh spinach, narration smooth as silk. First, we wilt the greens to release their earthy aroma. She moves with the practiced ease of someone reclaiming her space. Each chop, each stir is punctuated by enthusiastic emotes from the audience. 20 minutes in, a notification diverts her attention, $1,000 donation from generous soul. Amara's hand freezes mid-stir. Oh my, thank you, she exclaims, voice trembling. This means so much to me. She glances toward Nina, whose eyes glisten with pride. I'm so grateful for your support. Every donation helps me keep cooking and sharing. Back in his office, Bryce's phone buzzes relentlessly. He glances at the screen, Amara's table live, 20k viewers, 200 comments per second. His brow furrows. For the first time, he sees her not as the girl who can't season, but as a star commanding thousands of eyes and hearts. 30 minutes later, Amara ladles soup into elegant bowls, garnished with a swirl of palm cream and toasted melon seeds. The chat explodes. Jollof addict, I'm dying to try this. Local TV, we should feature you on our morning show. Her cheeks flush. Thank you all, she says, tears brimming. I never imagined I'd be here. This is for every one of you who believed in me. The live stream ends with a final wave. Nina rushes to hug her. You killed it, she breathes. Amara savors the moment, an intoxicating blend of relief and exhilaration. But as the applause fades, her gaze drifts to the small window overlooking the city. Millions have witnessed her triumph. And somewhere out there, Bryce's silence feels like a challenge. Their worlds have irrevocably shifted, Amara has taken the spotlight, and Bryce's next move remains uncertain. A week later, invitations arrive in gilded envelopes, an evening with Amara, printed in gold leaf. Guests, local food bloggers, TV producers, Chef Tolu, and even a few hesitant names from Bryce's former circle, receive RSVP cards stamped with Amara's new logo. It's time for her to rewrite the dinner party narrative. The event venue is an airy loft bathed in candlelight, vines of bougainvillea draped along exposed brick walls. Long butcher block tables gleam under Edison bulbs. Each setting features hand-painted ceramic plates and artisanal linen napkins. At the head table stands Amara, radiant in a deep emerald dress that echoes her brand's vibrancy. Bryce arrives unannounced, stepping through the wrought iron gates. He pauses at the entrance, surveying the scene, chefs in crisp whites orchestrating the flow of amuse-bouches, guests murmuring in delight. His jaw tightens. How did she pull this off? He mutters under his breath. Inside, diners sip sparkling rose as servers present the first course, palm nut soup elegantly served in clear glass vessels. Chef Tolu leans into Amara. This blend of spices, subtle, yet unforgettable, he notes. Amara beams, whispering back, thank you for believing in me. At the next table, Keisha and Daryl exchange glances. Daryl murmurs, I honestly didn't expect this level of finesse. Keisha, twisting her wine glass, forces a polite smile. Yes, it's different. Their earlier jibes feel distant in the face of Amara's mastery. Midway through the evening, a hush falls as Amara steps forward with a platter of her crowning creation, plantain fritters dusted with cocoa chili powder, accented by a tamarind honey drizzle. The scent alone draws gasps. Laughter and applause erupt as guests taste. Phones emerge, recording the moment. Live streams commence with tags, #Amara's dinner party, #peasant plates no more. From across the room, Bryce watches, chest tight. His face flushes, pride tangled with regret. Yet he remained silent, the words caught in his throat. As dessert arrives, a mango coconut panna cotta with a bruleed sugar crust, Chef Tolu raises his glass. To Amara, he announces, voice warm. For turning ridicule into revolution on a plate. Glasses clink, toasts echo, and Amara's eyes glisten as she surveys her guests, people moved, inspired, and utterly won over. The dinner table has become Amara's stage, and the world is watching her performance with rapt attention. Late that night, after the crowds disperse and servers clear the tables, Amara retreats to the quiet of the loft's mezzanine. She sips a leftover glass of rose, letting the adrenaline ebb. Nina finds her, draping an arm around her shoulders. You are phenomenal, she says softly. Amara exhales, rocking gently on her heels. I never knew it could feel like this. A soft clearing of the throat interrupts them. Keisha steps into the archway, her stilettos clicking against the hardwood. She's dressed in a sleek black jumpsuit, less mockery today, more calculated poise. Mind if I join you? She asks, tone neutral. Amara studies her. Invitation or trap? Nina tenses beside her. Amara nods and gestures to the wine. Be my guest. Keisha takes the offered glass and swirls the rose. She regards Amara with inscrutable eyes. You know, I always suspected you had more than just rustic charm. She smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Your menu tonight? Flawless. Not bad for someone who couldn't even boil water last year. Amara's heart thumps, but she holds her gaze steady. Thank you, Keisha. It means a lot coming from you. Keisha chuckles, a low, mirthless sound. I suppose apologies are in order. She sets the glass on the railing. For underestimating you. I thought your cooking was quaint, but tonight, you leveled up. She leans in. Don't let it get to your head, though. Fame is fleeting. Amara's fingers brush the cool metal railing. She considers Keisha's words, gratitude for the compliment, but wariness of the caveat. Finally, she smiles. I know what I'm capable of. And thanks to my supporters and hard work, I'll be here long after the rumor mill spins its wheels. Her voice is calm, unwavering. Keisha's lips curl into a half smile. She straightens and backs away. We'll see. Then she vanishes into the stairwell, heels clicking like a closing verdict. Nina exhales. That was something. Amara nods, unsettled yet resolute. Keisha's words sting, but they also underscore her victory. She's cracked the wall of ridicule, and now even her harshest critics acknowledge her power. A backhanded compliment has stung, and revealed just how far Amara has come. The next challenge looms, sustaining her rise amid skeptical eyes. Back at home, Bryce paces the sleek living room, his phone lighting up with notifications. Clips from the dinner party flood his screen. Bryce's wife stuns the city. The acclaim is deafening, and he can't mute it. He stalks into the bedroom where Amara is packing a suitcase. She's preparing for an early morning cooking segment on a local TV show. We need to talk, he snarls, slamming his phone on the nightstand. Amara pauses, halfway zipping a bag. About? He runs a hand through his hair, frustration etched on his face. All this spectacle. The TV, the diners, the fans, what happened to you being my wife and supporting my career? His voice shakes. I need you here, not out there chasing clout. She sets the suitcase down, facing him. I support you. But you've never supported me. Her tone is firm, sorrow laced through each word. Last year, you mocked my cooking in front of your friends. Tonight, you watch as strangers cheer me on. Now you want me to cater to your ego? He recoils as though struck. Don't twist this. I'm just saying, there are priorities. My board meeting was a disaster because you commandeered the kitchen last week. Amara's eyes flash. Your meeting? My dreams? You've made it clear which you value more. She steps forward. I can't keep shrinking myself for you. He shakes his head, voice cracking. So you'd rather be some internet chef than my wife? He paces, arms flailing. This is ridiculous. Delete your accounts. Delete everything. Amara feels a swell of anger and sorrow. No, she says, voice steady. I won't erase who I am. She grabs her purse. I'm leaving for the TV studio in 20 minutes. I suggest you get over your pride and respect my choices. Bryce's face contorts, a storm of regret and rage. He lunges, grabs her arm. You're not going anywhere. Amara pulls back, tears shining but unbowed. Let go of me. She reaches into her bag, retrieves her phone. I have to go. She slips past him, but he blocks the doorframe. At that moment, her phone buzzes with a text from local TV, ready for tomorrow's segment? The message glows on the screen like a beacon. Amara's resolve steels. She raises her chin. Bryce, please move. He stands frozen as she slips through the doorway. The click of the door echoes, a verdict in its own right. The arguments have shattered what remained of their bond. Amara steps into her future, leaving Bryce to confront his own failures. Amara stands in the empty apartment, sunlight slanting through half-closed blinds. Suitcases line the hallway, boxes fill the living room. Everything here, photos, heirlooms, Bryce's half-empty whiskey bottle, feels like a relic of a life she's shedding. Nina arrives with a moving van. She lands a hug, then hands Amara a small white envelope. It's from me, Nina says softly. Amara tears it open. Inside is a single sheet of paper, handwritten. Don't call me your wife when I was never your partner. I'm packing my dreams, not your baggage. Please respect my silence. Amara. Her hand trembles as she folds the note and tucks it into her journal. She walks into the bedroom, retrieves a delicate gold necklace, a gift from Bryce on their first anniversary, and places it on the dresser. She pauses, heart heavy, then closes the drawer for the last time. Downstairs, the movers load boxes, kitchen gear, cookbooks, memorabilia. Amara watches, detached yet grateful. Each box is a step toward freedom. Bryce appears at the door, shoulders hunched, mouth opening and closing like a wounded bird. He holds out a crumpled letter, his attempt at apology. Amara doesn't take it. Instead, she shakes her head. This is it, she says softly. Please don't call. He exhales, swallowing pain. Amara. She holds up her hand. Goodbye, Bryce. And with that, she turns away. As the van rumbles down the street, Amara settles into the passenger seat beside Nina. The city skyline gleams ahead, filled with promise. Nina offers her hand, Amara takes it, fingers lacing. The driver closes the door. Amara breathes deeply, no regrets, only anticipation. The road unfurls before her, each mile a new chapter waiting to be written. With the past behind her, Amara drives toward a future of her own making, her heart open, her spirit unbroken. It's a quiet evening when Amara finally musters the courage to hit post. The screen blinks, uploading. In front of her is the storytime video she's rehearsed for days, the raw footage of Bryce mocking her food, layered beneath her voiceover. He called my peasant soup therapy. He laughed at every bite. But tonight, I serve the truth. She watches the progress bar climb, heart pounding. Within minutes, the first notifications arrive, 500k views, 1M views, 2M views. Comments flood in. Survivor voice, this is emotional abuse. Broken heart. Women who cook, we see you, sister. Raising hands. Viral justice, Bryce got served real good. On the other side of town, Bryce twists in his seat at a client dinner when his phone buzzes. He glances, your wife's video is trending at #2 on YouTube. He frowns, orders another round of wine to steady himself. But the alerts don't stop, each ping is a blow. Back at home, Amara and Nina watch the view count rocket, 5M. 10M. 15M, tears of relief and vindication stream down Amara's cheeks. We did it, she whispers. Nina squeezes her hand. You gave voice to every woman who's ever been ridiculed. As the night deepens, the video spawns reaction clips, news segments, and talk show debates. Bryce's name is dragged through the mud, memes of him eating humble pie flood social feeds. For Amara, the wave of solidarity is intoxicating and terrifying. She leans back, heart racing. She's won justice, but opened a door to a world she never asked for. End of chapter 16. The virtual court of public opinion has rendered its verdict, and Bryce is the defendant. 2 days later, a leaked clip from Bryce's personal Instagram live goes viral. In it, he sits alone in his study, eyes red-rimmed, voice cracking. Bryce, voice trembling. I didn't mean to hurt her. I thought I was being funny. Please, can we just move on? The camera captures him wiping tears with a crumpled tissue. His shirt collar is undone, tie discarded, an image of a man unmoored. Within hours, the hashtag Bryce sweeps trends worldwide. Reaction memes and mocking gifs spread like wildfire. At the office, Bryce's colleagues exchange awkward glances as watercooler gossip swirls. His boss sidles up, tough week, Bryce? Bryce forces a shaky smile. Just personal stuff. But the email pings never stop, headlines, breaking news alerts, viral reaction videos. Everywhere he turns, he's the joke. Meanwhile, Amara scrolls through the comments with a conflicted heart. Some cheer his tears as poetic justice, others pity him. She pauses on one message. Empathy first, we all make mistakes. He's human. A pang of compassion flickers, but she closes the app. Her path now is about healing and empowerment, not revenge. That evening, Bryce tries to record his own apology video, scripted, polished. Lines flub, voice wavers, and he aborts the take. In the empty room, he whispers, "What have I done?" The camera lingers on his desolation. Bryce's public unraveling underscores the cost of cruelty and the power of truth. The following morning, Amara's inbox overflows with opportunity. A major streaming service offers her a cooking show, a spice company proposes a signature line, a global food festival invites her as keynote chef. She sits in a sleek conference room with her new agent, Marco, reviewing contracts. Marco, Netflix wants a docuseries on Amara's table. They love the mix of personal narrative and authentic recipes. Amara's pulse quickens. Will they let me tell my full story? She asks. Marco, smiling, they insisted. This is gold, authenticity sells. Later, she meets with the director of a gourmet spice brand in a sunlit tasting salon. They taste test her custom blends, smoky Senegalese pepper, lemongrass-infused sea salt, tamarind citrus rub. Each jar is labeled an elegant script, Amara's heritage collection. Executive, your story and your spices are an irresistible combination. This line will launch in 3 months. Amara signs the dotted lines, hands trembling with excitement. She clutches the first mock-up jar, a tangible symbol of her journey from ridicule to recognition. That afternoon, she dials Chef Tolu. They plan a special pop-up event at his flagship during Food Week. He laughs through the speaker, we'll call it culinary redemption. As the sun sets, Amara stands on her balcony, jars gleaming behind her, phone in hand. The city lights twinkle below, each one a viewer who's tasted her story. She inhales the night air, feeling the weight and wonder of her new reality. Amara's brand empire is rising, proof that resilience, creativity, and authenticity can rewrite any narrative. At her book launch gala, a dazzling affair with red carpets and flashing cameras, Amara glides through the crowd in a gold-sequined gown. Her memoir, From Peasant Plates to Powerhouse, is already a bestseller. Fans line up for signed copies, selfies, and words of encouragement. Backstage, Bryce stands hesitantly at the edge of the green room. Dressed in a tailored suit that feels ill-fitting, he watches her from afar. His eyes track every autograph she signs, every embrace she gives. Finding a moment, he approaches quietly. Amara looks up, surprise flickering in her eyes. The buzzing chatter halts. Bryce, voice low. Amara. She straightens, heart pounding. Bryce, she replies, keeping her voice calm. He takes a breath, searching her face. I was wrong, he says. I never saw you. I never supported you. And I'm sorry. A hush falls, even the crew pauses. Amara's gaze is steady, unwavering. She folds her arms. Sorry doesn't fix what you did, she says softly. But I appreciate the apology. Bryce's shoulders slump. I came to tell you I admire you, he adds, vulnerability unmasked. You're incredible. Amara glances toward the stage door, where her public awaits. She softens, just slightly. Thank you, she murmurs. That means more than you know. Before Bryce can say more, the event coordinator appears. 5 minutes, Amara. She offers him a final nod. Good night, Bryce. And with that, she slips away, leaving him alone under the dim backstage lights. In the space between apology and forgiveness, Amara claims the power to choose her own closure. Final evening. The studio audience sits in hushed anticipation as Amara steps onto the set of her new cooking show, Amara's Table Live. The stage lights dance across a long island of gleaming cookware and vibrant ingredients. Cameras pan the cheering crowd. Amara looks out, breath-catching at the sea of faces, fans, food journalists, even Chef Tolu and Nina in the front row. She raises her hand in salutation. Welcome to my kitchen, she begins, voice rich with emotion. This show is for everyone who's ever been laughed at, doubted, or told they didn't belong. Here, we cook from the heart. She launches into her signature jollof rice demonstration, storytelling woven between gestures. Each stir, each seasoning is a testament to her journey. The audience leans in, applause erupts with every transformed taste. As the final dish is unveiled, a tapestry of flavors she calls Redemption Plate, the studio lights brighten in a triumphant crescendo. The camera cuts to Bryce in the green room, tears glistening as he watches her triumph. Amara closes the episode with a dedication to every woman ever mocked. May your next chapter be written by you. The audience rises in a standing ovation, chants of Amara. Amara, filling the air. The credits roll over her glowing smile, no longer a hidden talent, but a beacon of empowerment. In that moment, shame dissolves into spotlight, and a humble cook becomes a legend. From mockery to mastery, Amara's saga completes its arc, and sparks the beginning of countless new stories. The end.